Hi guys, Puddin here with the game for you, my Tier 10 Premium U.S. Heavy Cruiser, the Warships-Salem. For the most part, this is just a Des Moines with shorter range radar. I believe it is 8.5. But you do get a British heel out of it. So your heel's a little bit different and your radar's a little bit different. Now, normally you'd be seeing the picture of the captain's goals, which you will see in my modules, but of course this is patch day and I don't have those pictures archived on a computer, but I do know that I have the faster get up and go module for my engines and faster pew pew. I do believe this is not a 19-point captain. Obviously, it is Captain Dasha. I believe she's sitting around 14, which means probably has priority target, expert marksman, obviously superintendent for extra stuff, concealment, and then possibly ATF. But that's pretty much all I know off the top of my head. Now, if you're expecting some of the most exciting gameplay, like on dinosaur extinction levels with massive explosions, this won't be it. I'm pretty much going to go forward to D and hide behind this rock for most of the game. While this may not be the most exciting gameplay, it pretty much not the most exciting while playing it and watching it. It is effective and it gets the job done. Now, the thing is, I'm not an expert on this. I'm not that great at just sitting there, because usually I will just get bored. Sneaky has god level type gameplay. Like, Sneaky won't do this because he's a lot better at micromanaging his movements. But if you're not, this is pretty much what you're going to do. But this is really really the way you should be playing a radar cruiser. If you're going to play a cruiser with radar, you're playing it for the radar. You're not playing it for yourself. Doesn't mean you can't get into positions like I am now to where I can radar and use my guns. But you're more or less kind of like, you know what, I'm here for the radar, for the initial push on caps, possibly to get DDs, but you have to put yourself in intelligence positions to where you are going to be safe. Now I see that it's a Minotaur, Montana, Bismarck over here, and along with the Asashio. I know the Asashio Torp can't torp me. I'm being a little bit hesitant on shooting my guns right now because I wasn't sure if the Jean Bart could see me. But as Sneaky says, if you can't use all your guns, you're doing it wrong. So I'm trying to get in a position where I can use all of my guns and remain hidden. But the most important fact is not to give them broadside. Now, you know what, I am doing my best to try to get this DD and help out this DD. If it was just the Bismarck and the Jean Bart as far as battleships over here, I probably would have played a little bit more exposed. And what I mean by exposed, I probably would have just pulled up to that rock and been like, here I am, your 15-inch guns will not go through me. Let's see if you're going to load the HE, which means you can't punish any of my battleships if they make a mistake. Now, speaking of battleships, my good friend from Kraken, Bartasian, is in Missouri. He is in this game, and he is on this side. This is, I'm going to suspect this both teams' weak side, but we are a little bit weaker. We have 1 DD, 2 cruisers, 2 battleships. They have 3 battleships, 2 cruisers, and as far as we are aware, 1 DD. So that means really we need to hold these guys off, or we need to make the push. The enemy team is a little bit more evenly spread out, but of course we are 2 ships down, and considering we didn't kill a cruiser on this side, all we killed was a DD, that means the other side must have got the kill. So for the most part, both teams are evenly distributed. We got the cap first, we got the points first, so really all we need to do is just play defensively. There's no reason to push D anymore, but we do need to defend it. Now, I am trying to set multiple fires on these battleships. Get a fire on one, then go back to the other one and let them burn. Now, I don't know why the Montana put out one fire, because it's one fire. You have the health. Anybody gets a fire or a flood, I mean, our Sashio was last seen in this area. The last thing you want to do is get caught by a torpedo, unless you know his torpedoes are down. But luckily for him, I don't get a fire and he's out of range. I know the Jean Bart also put one out, but of course I backed up too far. Now I started focusing on these two gentlemen because I knew their DCP was down, and failed to see the Bismarck was making this play. Now, some of the reason I'm just holding this corner is because I am, for the most part, with the Chapayev and the Asashio holding the 9-10 line. Those guys are not going to be able to push out very easily and do anything. And this is what I mean. Like, if the Montana wasn't here, I would just be sitting right where I am and I'll bow in. Like, you know what, there's not much you guys can do except for shoot HE, which, like I said, means they're going to have wrong ammo choices on a broadside battleship, or they're going to have to switch. Get a fire on a Jean Bart, no, that's going to go for a while, start backing up, because, you know what, angry smoke cloud, and it's not shooting HE, means it's a Minotaur, and I just don't feel like sitting there dying to paper cuts. I'd rather dish out all of my paper cuts, instead of getting paper cutted myself. Now, you know what, I've been moving back and forth. They know where I'm at. A lot of your... Gonna get in trouble for this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. A lot of your low-end Unicum players play like this, but they know these spots way better than I do. They also know how to do, they also know how to stay angled more, to use all of their guns. They're a little bit less of, get tunnel visioned. They know how to make the most out of those spots to where I don't. Or I don't. Usually I'm more of a very aggressive player. This is just something I'm not extremely well at. Now, the reason you're seeing this is because this is how a lot of clan battles play out. While I have no clan right now, and I'm more than happy to stay clanless because it's been quite enjoyable. Any of you that are in clans, you know what, that are playing like this, you know, this is how this stuff plays out. It's not exciting. It's not, you know, it's not go out there and, you know, take all the damage. I think I've done a fairly good job of dishing out damage while preserving my health. I mean, at this point, I have 30,000 left and I've dished out 8,000. It's all about trading health smartly. Now, this is the nice thing about having faster pew-pew instead of range. I'm going to be able to continue to shoot at this Bismarck and not be spotted because I have an island that is concealing me and the Zhao is just too far. Now, if I had a spotter plane, of course I'd be popping it now for a lot more accurate shots, but what I'm doing is actually using his health bar, looking at the mini-map, seeing the position of a ship, not the circle, and what he is doing to make my shots. It's just something that I've, you know, really just have learned over my course. The Cleveland, I do believe, is the one that spotted me, which is kind of why I wanted to stop shooting and maybe deal with him. But of course, he's backing up behind an island. Didn't realize the Cleveland can't be spotting me. It might be the Asashio, but still, I see what the Bismarck doing. I see that the red bar is barely moving forward, and my tick counter is no longer going up. And I set a fire on him, which means this gentleman is going to burn to death. Now, I probably should have switched to AP here to shoot at the Zao, but the Zao's been playing, well, smartly for the most part. He's staying in the back, using his range to his advantage. And as you can see, he was turning, so you know what, awesome. Is we burned down the Bismarck, but you know what, the Montana's showing me enough side to where, you know what, I'm going to take a couple rounds of AP at him, but it looked like he was turning in, so I switched back to HE because it's going to be the more effective rounds. Pretty much put my ship at a full stop because, you know what, they're hitting, he's moving forward, I have the island protecting me, and I really just don't need to back up at all. I don't know why this guy is just stopping in the middle of all of us. The other side is clearly won. I see torpedoes. I'm not even worried. I don't even have to look because of the island that is here. And if anything is torping me, it would have been. I was thinking at the time the Dedisaccio. I know, haha, the Dedisaccio. It couldn't kill me anyways. But I really wasn't in fear of torpedoes. Still going to keep pummeling this Montana. Just going to keep backing up so I can keep my guns going on him. I noticed he wasn't looking at me. Now he is looking at me. But what I'm going to do is, you know, back up, do some turns, let my armor belt take some of the damage, and instead of just going directly nose in, I'm going to pull forward, also turn, to hopefully have just all of these shots miss. And this is where I say, like, sneaky is a lot better. He would have been doing all of this out in the open, probably. And where I say the low-end Unicums are better, they would have known how to angle even more to where none of those shells would have done any sort of damage, to where I just minimized the damage. But we are going to get the Montana. This game is quickly wrapping up, and let's just say a Minotaur smoked up in front of a Missouri, and the Minotaur's broadside. I don't think that's going to end well for him. So now we're going to watch that explosion of that little dinosaur and go check out the post-battle results. Now I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. I hope you did learn something. And please feel free to point out any of the mistakes I made in the comments, because we are all here to learn and to get better. I'm just trying to pass along my knowledge to you guys and have knowledge passed on to me while entertaining, hopefully, everybody. We do appreciate all the support you guys do give us. We do love the replays. You send us the email for that is in the description down below. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play. We're quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button and have yourselves one heck of a great day. And for everybody celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.